Hello, everyone. Andrew Taylor here. Today we have two special guests, Josh Williams and Austin Jones. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
So to start, Josh, you got the fastest growing business in FFL. We're going to hear from you. Austin, you have written over 40 policies in a given month. You've been with FFL since when? When did you start? November. Before that, you did health insurance.
Correct.
So similar, but still learning something new.
Right.
And your why is to create a lifestyle for your family so you can spend more time with your two kids and the people that you care about.
Yes, sir.
How much is like materialistic stuff in that goal?
Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask my wife, it may be a different answer. But I'm not too big on materialistic things as much as I am more on time and getting that time freedom back. Obviously, I like those things for sure, but I'm more of like being able to get my time back because I've worked for so long.
Dude, time is worth.
Exactly.
It's priceless.
Exactly. So that's what I shoot for, to get that time freedom back.
Okay, so you guys have an amazing team.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is like, I was thinking about it last night, how cool it is. Can you share how you guys hire people, what you do, how you get in front of them, how you create this working environment for them to win, and what that looks like?
Absolutely. So Josh is really great at recruiting. So that's one thing that he teaches from day one. So you find somebody, find a pain point, create a solution. But as far as getting them up and going very quickly, that's one thing that he preaches to all of his leaders, which I appreciate, is we don't want people to be out here not making money for a while, because the last company I was at, that's what happened. It would be a month and you hadn't gotten paid. So our goal is to get people paid very quickly. So we're very hands-on, in front of your face all the time. Most of everybody's doing telesales. We have a Zoom environment where everybody's winning. You're seeing people that have 40, 50, 60 families a month trained right in front of you. You get that hands-on training from people like Josh, who is a monster on the phones, as well as learning the recruiting and different things like that as well. So it's pretty cool.
So you guys if you hire someone, like right now you hired a bunch of people in Las Vegas, you guys rented an Airbnb. What is that setup like?
Yeah, so
You have everybody come over there.
yeah, so it's a lock-in. That's what we call it, right? So basically,
Why is it called a lock-in?
because you lock in mentally for a week. So Josh has us ropes and chains. We can't move.
No friends, no family, nothing.
No, it's fun. So basically, like you said, we get an Airbnb, get a bunch of new guys that are hungry, ready to learn. They get their leads, they show up, we lock in for a week, and you get hands-on training from these top leaders, top agency owners, top producers that are going to show you exactly what to do right in front of your face. So it really doesn't get any better than that. So we, for the whole month we're on Zoom, but for a week we lock in every single month.
Now, does it ever turn into like a party, like drinking, barbecuing?
Ever.
We definitely eat. we definitely eat. We don't do any drinking, no partying, no going out, nothing like that. What we try to do over
Why?
we're here to work. We're here to build a business. People need to pay their mortgage, take care of their bills and expenses, and they're not making an investment to come here and lose money. They're making an investment to come out to the event and to lock in, to learn a new skill set, and to be able to go take care of their family. So no party.
Now, how do you set that tone?
We have an actual call prior to the event. So these events are very, very structured. Like, there's an itinerary, there's a schedule, a wake-up time, there's a meeting time, there's actual pre-planned out trainings that we have throughout this thing. Like, it's very detailed. So prior to us going to the event, we would have an actual call on Zoom where everyone who's going to be attending that event is on that call, and we set expectations. Hey, guys, this is what you can expect. If you don't want to abide by these things here, don't come.
Have you had to tell anyone to leave before?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's crazy that people just kind of, including me, sometimes you just need to be told what to do. It's like, and it's actually better that way because you're not confused. So you guys setting that up front, it's like, dude, and dude, that you're right. People have mortgages, they have bills. This is not a game,
Right.
you know? So what type of results do you see people getting if you guys do one of these events?
I
Like,
mean,
Crazy results.
people leave and go back and have their biggest week, biggest day, biggest month, right? So
now, do they do it there too, though?
at the events, sometimes there's these glass ceilings that we really, and every person's different, right? So some people go to the event, they get, an extra, they hear an extra, word track or something, and they just take off and they just blow the event out. And then there's some guys, like the last event, I don't know if you saw the last post I made, there's a guy who, last day of the event, last few hours before checkout, he hadn't gotten a sale yet. So the entire team huddled around this guy. He closed the deal, and we just went crazy, and it like went all over the internet. And it was just the dude was crying. He was crying.
Dude.
And when he went home, he was selling. So definitely game changers, because some things are taught and some things are caught. And I think one of the biggest things is just them being able to sit and see how we maneuver on just the device in terms of what do we have pulled up on our screen at one time when we're talking or saying this, or how do we maneuver that. So
Now, are you selling too?
I usually sell I don't know, the last two lock-ins. I've been doing a lot more sitting next to people and helping them sell.
So will you take the phone and
If someone, like, if it's a guy especially, I'll grab the phone and do it. And the clients never know, but
or they could say, "Hey, I'm going to bring my manager on."
Right.
they could. But the clients have never even realized that I have a different voice or anything. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, and then if you're not a man, I can't do that. So but we have a very diverse group all the time, different age groups, different people, and
How do you
it's a lot
guys
of fun.
pick who gets in these,
Good question. So
like, who gets invited?
we like the first lock-in that we did with Josh. It was mainly just my team. Everybody was pretty new. But outside of that, we have pretty much the similar people that will travel with us, and then we have new agents in those locations, or some people fly out from all over the country, and we just leave it up to the managers, like, hey, take your new people that need the help, and
So who pays for the Airbnb? You got people pitch in.
So what usually happens is we'll find a place. We'll figure out how many people are ready to roll to that place, and we'll divide it based on how many people we have. However, sometimes when you start a business, you don't have a lot of money, so we have to pick up the slack on that, and that's fine. So
But you like having people pitch in, right?
absolutely, we could cover, and we've had many conversations in the past. I mean, we've been doing these lock-ins for almost 8 months now, but um, what happens is they don't take it as serious, unfortunately. So we want them to have some skin in the game. But what we do is we make it a point to make sure that when they leave there, they leave with a check.
Now, if somebody's not going to these lock-ins, what do you guys do? You guys still have a virtual
Yeah, the
Zoom
lock-ins are
room.
actually not. They're not like every day, and we have many of them happening. So AJ in his first class, that they've got a lock in. We'll have Vanessa Powell.
Oh, so people are doing their own.
Yeah.
So we have them. It's become a thing where that's how you get production up and booming. We lock in for 3 to 5 days and we go get it. Now the people that come, these are people that are typically brand new. Not brand new. What we like to do is we don't like to teach from scratch at these lock-ins. So we should never have someone that's completely brand new at a lock-in.
Like they're not even contracted.
right.
Right. So they definitely need to get through contracting, get through the boot camp stuff. They need to have been on Zoom and been dialing and just kind of know of what they're doing. And then when they come to a lock-in, it's about getting to the next level to really just level them up. Now, sometimes they come early, and that's okay. Like they're brand new, they got all their contracts, they're just ready to dive in, and that works too. But yeah, we just pretty much try to compress the entire learning curve into 3 to 5 days.
So, like, if someone's manager just calls them on the phone occasionally, do you feel like you guys would, compared to doing what you do you feel like you guys are building better relationships with people?
1000%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We run pretty much all virtually, but we've met like a lot of the people that we work with just because we do the lock-ins. We show up in person. We have team trips and team events. Last month We went to Atlanta. This next month we're going to Miami. We're in Vegas now. We have the first ever knockout agencies. What's it called?
Can't tell them yet. You can't tell them yet.
We have
Cruise.
a cruise. We have a knockout agencies cruise where you qualify.
You're gonna do a lock-in on the cruise.
On a cruise, you qualify for the cruise and you get on there. And this is something that, though, not like a lock-in. It's more so like, hey, you need to go out and qualify for this trip.
What do you got to do to qualify?
Got to do at least 20,000 of production.
In a month.
20 families in a month, correct?
Dope.
So we do a lot of fun stuff. Virtual sales can get boring when you're sitting and staring at your Zoom all the time. So we like to kind of just break it up a little bit, get in person with each other, new environment. We push each other. It's always fun when you have a room full of people hitting the phones. It's very difficult for you to not be focused, right? Because everyone else is working and selling, and if you're not, then you're a weirdo. So
yeah,
I think the biggest thing is the intensity. Like, it's very easy to see like Josh or Mel who crush it every month, and you really can't tell what they're doing. You see them on Zoom, you see them on presenting, but you don't see like everyday activities and how they literally grind from sun up to sundown. So when you get into a lock-in and you see that, it's inspiring. And I think that's the biggest thing that people take from this. Like, you don't have to work for 20 years in insurance to make the type of money or hit the type of goals that you want to make here, at least at FFL with this vehicle. If you just work for really hard for, a couple of years, you can have an integrity deal. So it's just crazy to see that in person. And I think that really is like what like clicks in people's head.
Dude, I think the funniest, and he just said it, but I think the funniest thing is that people think that we just have the most amazing training at the lock-ins, which we know what we're doing. But the biggest thing is that we just show people how to work. Like what times, what targets, what mission.
That's funny.
That's it. It's just we show you that, hey, we're not hanging around thumbing through Instagram. At 8 o'clock sharp, we're on the phones, and we're going to dial from 8 to 11. In this time frame, you need to have at least 300 phone calls. By 11 o'clock, we're going to pull your phone burners up and see how many calls you have. Let's see where you are and where you're tracking. So now it's not about talent. It's just about, hey, I'm proving to you that if you hit these targets, you're going to get a check. So it's just we're showing them how to work.
The other thing is you're showing people that everybody goes through the same crap.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, you go through the same nose, the same people telling you to pound sand.
Oh, yeah.
And they see it and they go, oh, it's not me.
Right.
This is just a numbers game.
Right.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's why I always said when I would see somebody get, like, rejected on the phones, it was better than me seeing them make a sale.
Oh, yeah.
It was more powerful than me seeing them make a sale. Because I go, oh, dude, it's normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Now, Austin, how many policies does your team sell a month, and how many agents do you have?
We'll have 20 writing agents this month, and we'll do like 300.
300 policies? What about you?
This month we should finish about 2.1, 2.2 maybe, hopefully.
2.3. We got it.
Yeah, who knows? But we have about 220.
So you guys are selling 23. Roughly 2,300 families are getting insurance a month.
Of course.
And how many agents?
Roughly about two. Last time I checked, I think it was 215.
So 215 agents and growing. Okay. If somebody wanted to work with you guys, let's say they said, hey, I want to work with Austin. I want this type of support. I'm in an industry. I feel lonely. I'm in my bedroom staring at my screen, and it could be a lonely road. I need some community to plug into. Can they work with you guys?
Absolutely.
How could they reach you?
Instagram, flywitha.j, or hit me up on my cell phone, 256-394-7528.
And this includes you guys would help them build a business.
Absolutely.
You guys will help them do these events and structure them. You would give them structure on Zoom, which is you guys are all dialing together on Zoom all day, and try to help them, which unfortunately most people don't make it in this industry.
Right.
Everybody knows that, right?
Right.
Of course.
Most people don't make it. So dude, and I always thought, like, the guys that originally hired me, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So you throw me into an environment with someone else, and I'm out. I'm going back to college to try to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you look at the three things that we have to do a really good job of here when it comes to selling, recruiting, and the last part is the training, the leadership development. I think a lot of people can sell, a lot of people can recruit, but then we have to figure out how to help everyone connect the dots on how to develop and duplicate themselves, and that's one thing that we try to focus on.
And believe in themselves.
Absolutely,
Sure.
that's it.
This guy, he's a big sales trainer. He was at the office till midnight last night, and he goes, "Dude, I don't train." He's like, he's like, I've made millions selling sales courses, and they're not sales courses. They're just me getting people to believe in themselves.
That's gold.
Like, dang, dude.
Yeah, goes a long way. Goes
That's
a long
it.
way. But
Yeah.
just like what you were talking about earlier, like I think we've all felt, someone who we're looking to for advice or for guidance, and we didn't receive it, and that's a bad feeling. I know he's felt it. I felt it. So that's why we just take that so serious. Like every single person that we bring on, we want to see them win. That's why we're getting dirty and we're on Zoom and helping train and doing these lock-ins.
The other thing is you guys are in the trenches with everybody. Like you're selling with them.
Absolutely.
You're writing 40 policies a month. You're even still selling. Or you're helping people sell.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. All right, let's get into in-home. Or not in-home, I guess. Phone.
Lost me there.
Yeah.
He's actually never done an in-home.
You've
Now,
never.
I've done plenty of them, but when he came here, he started telesales.
Yeah.
So you're doing all telesales. Tell us what this looks like.
Simple. I mean, presentation or just like day to day, what it looks like.
Let's go with like, do you use internet leads or direct mail?
A little bit of both. Majority of internet leads, just because it's so duplicatable.
And they're so accessible.
For sure. And so that's what we just try to live by. Anybody that comes in, we want them to see us doing exactly what they can do and still have success.
What do you expect as far as rejection on internet leads? Like, can somebody expect a lot of rejection?
1,000%. I think you should. You should have proper expectations. No lead is just perfect. You shouldn't expect to buy 100 and sell 50. Like that's
what about the people that are always looking for the perfect new lead company?
You're gonna be looking forever. You're wasting your time.
And costing
sure.
themselves a lot of money because they
1,000%.
could have been making money with that time.
So expectations, you know, and you're teaching people this is a big numbers game.
Absolutely, yep. We go through the numbers with them, show them kind of what it looks like, worst case scenario, and we plan for that. So.
I like that. And then they don't feel like they're doing something wrong if someone tells them no.
Yeah.
Now, what percentage of people are going to tell you, like, I didn't fill it out? And I know we don't have an accurate number, but what do you feel like off the top of your head?
I think between I didn't fill it out and I've already got it. Those are probably the top main two.
I would say
and that's at least 70%.
I would say
70%?
I would say somewhere between 60, 70
I would say
are rebuttaling us, saying, yeah, I didn't fill it out, or yeah, I've already got it, or whatever. It depends on what you're running. At least 50 to 70.
In the internet lead world.
For sure. I would say it's hard because, if you look at the numbers, how many people actually answer the phone? And then of those that actually answer
how many
the phone,
do you think actually answer the phone?
Oh man, that's a good question. I would say if I buy 100 leads in a day, I would say maybe 40 will answer. Of those 40, I would say at least 10 to 15 are going to tell you, I didn't fill this out. What are you talking about, or whatever. Just because.
But you guys can convert those.
Absolutely, those are the best ones.
We love the rebuttals. So even though we get hit with a lot of rebuttals that we get, it wasn't me, I'm not interested, and I've already got it. So it doesn't stop anything.
No.
It's just knowing what to say and how to handle those things. So, because again, like
So if I already got it,
that's my favorite one. I think I've sold the most deals that I've written with that. And someone tells me they've already got it, I just agree. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. That's actually why I'm calling. Which one of our companies did you end up going with? I just wanted to make sure that we got the packet mailed out to you. And you'll tell me I'm sorry. So I always go through the process of trying to identify if they're telling me the truth or not, and I do that by asking them about the packet that should have been mailed, the policy brochure. So you tell me you've already got it. Yeah, absolutely. That's actually why I was calling. Just wanted to make sure you received your policy packet in the mail. Have you gotten that yet? You say yes. Great. And then remind me which one of our companies you went with. That way I can go ahead and update the system, get you off the system here. You'll tell me XYZ company. Oh, okay, that's a little odd. That's one of our secondary companies. Is there a reason? Do you have any type of major health issues going on? What exactly happened?
And you're back in.
And I'm back in the conversation. I identify how much they're paying, what company, what type of program, and I say that's weird. I'm looking at the system here. It shows that you should get XYZ for the same price.
Dude, that's such a good line, and it's true. Let me update our file. I need some more info, so I don't call you back.
Yep.
And
So
then you get more info.
I think a lot of people with that approach, they try to be very salesy and they say, okay, well, are you interested in saving money? It's immediately they're gonna bang on you. So I just try to decrease any type of pressure and just increase the credibility. So in a sense, it almost seems like I'm calling from their company, in a sense.
Dude, so I used to. It's funny because this is bringing back memories when I first started. I would do that, like, well, can I save you money? And they would just like, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone told me, they said, okay, every customer that you sit with, imagine a huge brick wall, and it's between you and them. And every time you say something, you can start taking bricks off that wall, or you can start building it up even higher. And by taking it off, these would be little comments that would release sales pressure. So it would be, let me just get some more information so I can update our system. That's not pressure.
Right.
That's just getting information. And you're just putting their guard down. So I would always say these lines that would release sales pressure, like, hey, just so you know, we have to get you qualified. We can't actually have anything finalized right now.
Yep.
So don't think we're going to have something, stuck in stone forever. We got to see if you could qualify, and then we can adjust it if we have to. So we just need to get close to where you want to be, but it doesn't have to be stuck in stone. And that's so much different than you're getting this and it's permanent, them feeling like that,
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Do you guys use lines like that throughout your presentations?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a huge thing, and it's almost like a takeaway as well. Like, well, as far as this goes, like, unfortunately, you couldn't commit to anything today, even if you wanted to. So, it's up to the insurance company to see whether or not you would even get approved. Different things like that throughout the presentation. So you just kind of relieve that. It's not like you're paying for this today. You're committed for the rest of your life. Like, you just take that away from them, and I think that definitely relieves it for sure.
Yeah, that's huge. Are you guys seeing like people get on the phones and then slowly start to get better after all these experiences that they have?
1,000%. So he told a great experience about a guy in a week who literally was scared to get on the phone to boom, making his first sale and happy. Well, our first lock-in that we did that I did with him, we had this lady, she came and she was afraid to even get on the phone, like crying because she didn't feel like she was worthy enough to even be there.
Dude, were you afraid to get on the phone?
I never was.
Were you? You definitely weren't.
I wasn't afraid. Just in the beginning when I first started sales, absolutely.
You were.
Absolutely. But, that was 8 years ago.
Dude, I used to want to dial like in the other room so no one could hear me.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
was the same way, like almost a heart attack.
High blood pressure.
I guess I just didn't have a chance to be afraid. I have a wife, 2 kids. Like, it's up to me. So I was just like, whatever. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I've always been like that. So I never really was afraid.
Dude, I was freaking. I was afraid I would sound dumb, and like the agents around me would be like, "What the heck?"
Most people feel that way.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Most
yeah.
people do. But like she was feeling like that, and that lock-in, she did okay. The next lock-in we go to,
What was our biggest day?
she literally helped 20 families in a day.
At the next
Bro.
lock-in? 2 weeks.
The next one,
It was 2 or 3 weeks later.
Who is this?
her name is Melinda. She's
out there.
Dude, we got to get her in here.
Yeah, she literally helped. That first day we got there, she helped 20 families that first day there. So you went from the first lock-in, being afraid to get on the phones, to literally helping 20 families the first day we were at the next lock-in. Now she trains people. So that was 2 months ago.
That's
When she-
amazing,
yeah.
dude.
But it goes back to what you said. It was just the transfer of belief. That's
That's it.
like being around that fire and just seeing, hey, we got your back, and everyone's cheering you on and walking you through things. She believed that she could do it.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the kid that made that sell at the
Yeah.
last one
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna show
Yeah,
you
you
the
gotta see the
video. It's
video.
crazy.
all week. Dude, he probably felt so bad
Yeah.
not
He
making
did.
a sale all
He
week.
did the whole week.
And when he made that sell and the team was surrounded, standing up around him, as soon as he hung up the phone with the client, everyone's screaming.
Screaming.
He started hugging everyone. He's crying. And this dude's
It's like he won the NBA finals.
Literally.
He's 6'8".
Yeah.
Oh.
Super tall
He's a big
guy.
old dude.
And he starts crying. So we like, dang, like, oh,
Dude,
but you can just
that's
see,
what it's
like-
all about.
Yeah, for sure. That's why we love doing these. Like, it's not about anything else but that getting that camaraderie, because it can get lonely, you know, and it can be, you can get selfish. I mean, you're sitting at the house,
Dude,
thinking
you
about
get in
yourself
your
all
own
day.
head.
For sure. So to get away and get everybody locked in and just see those moments, it's just like, this is why we do what we do.
Have you guys seen that Tony Robbins thing on Netflix? I'm not your guru.
Documentary. Yeah, I've seen that one.
And he's like crazy, dude. He's like cussing everyone out, but like in a loving way.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. It's
He's
pretty
a
funny.
beast, but
It's funny.
dude, he kept saying in that thing, if you're in your head, you're dead.
That's a fact.
And I'm like, dude, you could get in your head real fast selling insurance, and you go down this negative like path of doesn't work. The leads don't work. I can't do it. I'm gonna get a charge back, and it's like, dude, if you're all by yourself,
Yeah,
it's hard to get out of that.
absolutely.
And I don't think it stops, to an extent. There's always the next level. And like even me,
Even me.
I feel that way sometimes. I'm like, dude, am I worthy? Am I,
Even
capable
me,
of
bro.
leading this
Everybody.
team? So
I was just gonna say that. Josh said at the last lock-in, every new level there's a new devil. And for me now, like the first lock-in, it's about personal production. Now it's about getting the team up and going. But there's so many things that you can get in your head about. So like they walk away super excited, new agents, learning it. But I take so much out of these. Like I love doing these. Just it takes you back to ground one and just like, man, this is the reason why we do these things.
Dude, so one of my first mentors, like in insurance, he said, when something bad happens, what I would do is I would pull away from everybody. So if I had a bad day, I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. And what he said is, he goes, that's when you need to call people.
Right.
And this was the example he gave me. He goes, imagine walking down a dark alley by yourself and you hear a little noise behind the garbage can. You're like, dude, what the heck is that, right? But he's like, imagine walking down an alley with like 5 of your friends and you hear a little noise. You almost want to know what it is because you want it to come out,
Yeah.
you know?
Hoping.
And he's
Come on
like,
out.
you're walking down the alley by yourself right now.
yeah.
So, dude, what you guys are creating is support and confidence with other people by having other people around. It's huge.
Sure.
And we also don't want to make it seem like that has to be what you do, because it's not. We have a lot of people that we have never met them and they're crushing it. I've never seen them in person. They get on Zoom every day to do their thing, and it's a preference. People want to plug in and do some extra hands-on stuff. Awesome. If you don't want to, that's okay too. But it's not necessary.
That's good too, because some people might take this too far and be like, you got to go. And it's like, dude, they're already selling. Leave them alone.
Right. Exactly.
That's why it's more geared towards newer people anyway. No, it's not mandatory. A new person can come in and do their thing, and it is what it is. But for the people that do need it, because everybody learns differently. So for the people that do need it, come on out, let us show you, and then take off.
Yeah. You guys got any advice for someone who's struggling as a new agent?
Yeah. If you're a new agent and you're struggling, there's just something off. First off, I would take the ownership and say it's something that I'm doing right, because it's working for everybody else. And that's what happened to me when I first came over. I spent money and got my butt kicked, and I went and swiped my card again. But it was an idea that this was my fault. I'm doing something wrong. So what I decided to do was to plug in. I asked a lot of questions. I wasn't afraid to, dial or present in front of people. And I think the more you do in front of other people is what's going to kind of get you to the next level. It's weird, but even when I was, in home, the very, very beginning, one of the rules I had after my first 30 days is I said I was never going to ever sell another policy without someone watching me. It held me accountable for two things. Number one, if you're sitting here watching me,
You do it right.
naturally I do it right and I fight harder. If you tell me, no, I don't want to do it today or let me think about it, and he's watching me and depending on me, naturally I'm going to fight harder for you to get this deal done now. And the other thing is that if I didn't have someone to watch me, I broke my rule. So I can't afford to break my rule, which means I need to go out and recruit. So it held me accountable on both ends.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah.
There's these stats that we look at, and we recruit warm market and cold market. So warm market would be somebody that somebody knows, like one of your friends, and cold market would be somebody on Craigslist that's looking for a job.
Right.
And through our agency, like it's around 83% of writers are warm market.
Wow.
And we hire a lot of cold market. And I have this like theory that when you hire your friend, you work harder because you don't want to, you have the pressure of one of your friends watching what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So someone asked me like, what should I do? Like they're like, how do you get up early and like, how are you motivated? And I go, dude, hire someone you know.
1000%.
Like
You'll
definitely
watch more YouTube videos. You'll watch all night. You'll be binge watching every YouTube you can find to make sure the next day you don't look silly.
Now, if you're the person you hire, your friend starts doing better than you, you're really gonna start working more.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't do those things, they'll probably have questions which will force you to work
To
harder.
learn and be engaged.
So,
Dude, that's why it's like when I was hired, Paul McLean hired me, and he sold a lot, and we're both competitive. So I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna just go down. I'm not going down easy, you know. And if it wasn't for him selling and us communicating with each other, I remember one week I'm just watching TV. He told me he sold like 4 policies. It was like 1 p.m. and I turned the TV off and started dialing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, accountability.
Absolutely.
Competitive, and it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, dude, you guys are awesome. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing. I'm excited to see what you guys do. It's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
we
for having
appreciate
us.
you for having us. Yeah.
Anybody watching, reach out to these guys. If you're not working with FFL, call these guys, join their team.